welcome to the Department Podcast. This is the wrestling recap version of the Department Podcast where we break down NXT Takeover 30. I'm Stephen Clark, joined by Justin Valentovic and Jesse Norman. Before we get into the action, fellas, how are you doing right now?
Jesse,
no. Let's start with Jesse first. Jesse, how are you doing right now?
I'm good. I'm tired. I still have an hour left on my EA access for the day, so I want to go play some Madden.
Oh, it's bad for me. I have like 2 hours left.
I haven't touched it yet. I haven't touched it yet because I don't.
Do you have your Xbox?
No, I don't. So that's why
Still don't have your Xbox?
Well,
Just Santana. Give him back his Xbox.
I'm getting it, by the time it goes up, I'm getting it back Sunday. Because,
oh
yeah,
my God.
And then we're going to do some stuff during the day on Sunday, so I'm going to set it up Sunday night so then I can play it all day of Monday leading up to launch. So really at that point I don't have to, parcel it out and budget out like you guys have had to do. But I'm doing great.
I gave up budget. Are you doing great?
Yeah, Takeover was a good show. Orioles got a walk-off win in extras. We're only an hour and a half since the show ended, so I'm energetic and ready to go.
Hour and a half? Like 2 hours. It ended at 9:20. It's 11:20.
Oh my God!
It's been 10 minutes since the game ended, so.
Yeah, no, you got right.
At least you guys won tonight.
I'm on victory right now, so that's.
Yeah,
can be said for at least me.
You didn't get almost blown out, then almost catch up like last night.
Thank God Boston sucks. But let's talk about some wrestling.
Let's talk about wrestling, but before we get into tonight's action, let's talk about the ThunderDome, baby. The good old ThunderDome that was debuted last night 2 nights ago on Friday Night SmackDown. I really liked the ThunderDome. It made me feel like a little kid again, in my opinion. It was very high-tech, very over-the-top, very WWE, and I loved it. What do you guys think?
Well, that's the thing. When you talk about, like, the LED boards, we see what they're doing with the bubble where it's just up against the wall behind the basket.
Yeah.
Then you look at what WWE did, where almost it goes around the entire ring area. And then you look up, and they built a LED screen and suspended it from the rafters around the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
So, when they showed the ThunderDome, like, opening on Twitter, it looked like it was going to be for The Undertaker almost at that point.
Yeah.
It adds a lot to it. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if when, life gets back to normal, they somehow work in incorporating, the LED board above the arena to some capacity because it adds an extra element and make things, for WWE larger than life.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a positive with that right there.
I think it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Like, that's the best way to put it. It's really cool.
It's nice. The whole surrounding area is nice. It's nice to have the whole big entrance ramp back, the whole Titantron back. It's nice to have pyro and fire and all the smoke back. It's just very nice.
It's amazing how much it makes the show just feel more grand with fireworks.
Yeah.
And pyro and everything. Like when they got rid of it, what was it, like 2014, 15?
Not too long ago, yeah.
It was missing something, and then they slowly brought it back, and then Corona happened, and they had to get rid of it because fireworks.
Well, they brought it back for Saudi shows because they were paid lots of money for Saudi shows.
But then again, they treat the Saudi shows like WrestleMania, but that's, here nor there at that point.
Yeah.
No, it's a glorified house show.
That's really what it is. But we saw them bring it back to Raw and SmackDown to some capacity, and then Corona hit, and they, fire hazard in the Performance Center. So I'm glad it's back now, and it should stay.
It should stay. It should be there. But I have one problem with it. Honestly.
That you didn't get in?
That I was going to get to that a little later, but I'll get to that first right now, actually. Yeah, I didn't get into the ThunderDome. I got an email.
You got into the lobby.
Actually, it wasn't my email that I got, actually. I didn't tell this to you guys, but it was my friend Bob from the chat from No Rest Hold. He's the guy who used to comment in the chat on my Instagram Live. We call him Bob from the chat. So Bobby Wonder, shout out to you. Thank you for the email.
So he forwarded it to you?
He delivers pizza, and he thought he could be on his phone and do it while he was delivering. But you can only be on like a desktop or laptop, whatever, while you do it. So I told him I signed up. I didn't get the email. He sent me his email, and I was like, cool. My call time's 8:15. I have the seconds on my laptop counting down. So as soon as it hit 8:15, I clicked that link, which said you can only click this link once. So I'm like, okay. I'll hit it at 8:15. No problem. I hit the link. Sorry, we're full.
So so is it
You
almost
gotta be
like
quicker than that.
so
I
is
did
it,
it on the dot.
so it's basically just like a first come first serve type of thing then at that point?
I think it's first come first serve, but then they alternate people
To a
every
reserve group, yeah.
Yeah, and they
Okay.
alternate every like 15 minutes. I'd like to say 15 to 20 minutes. I'd say because it wasn't the same faces all the time.
No, you would see it cycle out here and there.
Yeah, so I think they bring people in, bring people out. They probably had to kick people out for wearing whatever
Other
they were
things.
wearing. Yeah, because they said no other merchandise, no promoting. I made a department sign. I was going to hold up a little department sign, try to get some
Yeah,
subscribers.
they definitely had people monitoring the Zoom
Yeah.
calls or whatever they were running it through. So
Yeah. So, but I didn't get in, but that's the least of our problems. My problem with the ThunderDome is I think there needs to be more fan interaction. They were just there, and it didn't seem like they weren't involved in the show. Like, the fake crowd noise is whatever. You have to put some sort of noise. You can't put the noise from the actual people there because you don't know what they're going to say on live television. But I think more fan interaction, I don't know how they can incorporate the fans more, but more fan interaction would be wanted, in my opinion.
I feel like it was just because no one really knew how to interact. Because, like, you know, the NBA, you just see, like, the chairs and, like, they throw people onto it, which was funny when I think it was the Mavs. Yeah, it was Mavs last night who got blown out. Like, you just saw empty chairs behind the backboard, like, as if people left the arena. So, but I think it was just because it was the first time people really didn't know how to interact.
Yeah.
But maybe if they come up with, like, you know, ways to show, like, emotes or, like, what MLB is doing now is, like, on the app, if you pick your team, you can choose to, you know, boo, cheer, or something, and you can input it that way, and it kind of meshes the sound system that way. So maybe if they come up with something to, like, that degree.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
for sure.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool, too. But it's new. You can't get too picky. Nobody can get too picky. It's a trial run, basically. A smart trial run to do it on SmackDown instead of SummerSlam because you don't want to test it out on one of your top 4 pay-per-views of the year. So, but overall, I thought really, really well done. Well done on their part. Ready to get into some TakeOver?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get into some TakeOver. First thing I noticed with NXT Takeover 30.
It was a very fast show.
They've all been like that recently.
Oh yeah,
remember they're cutting down on their pay-per-view hours.
Yeah, which I'm fine with.
All 4.
Yeah,
because
with the network, you don't need long pay-per-views because nobody's paying $50 for them.
Yeah, no, you don't need to justify the amount you're paying.
You don't feel like you're being gypped.
No, exactly.
Do people even order the pay-per-views anymore? Like,
no, not really.
There has to be a handful of people that still
I know they
still do it on pay-per-view, but I don't think there's like
they
promote the network so much.
Yeah.
The only way it's worth it is only if you only watch WrestleMania, because then that's $50.
But then you just make a new email and pay your $10 for WrestleMania.
I agree.
You're an idiot if you're paying for pay-per-views.
Maybe it's just the old people. Maybe it's old people who don't have the network or something. Or
hey, people for AEW have to buy the pay-per-views.
Yeah. You're right. I don't. I'm not gonna say what I do for that. But anyways,
I think they eventually go on like BR Live or something.
Yeah, they do BR Live and they do like Fight Network stuff. I think too.
Yeah.
But continuing with TakeOver 30, the first thing I noticed on the kickoff show, there was a match. We'll get to that. But another personalized entrance set for a TakeOver. This is the second time in a row we've seen this now. The first one was TakeOver in your house. They had a nice little house set up and all that stuff. We saw the 3 big X's for this. Does this continue?
Well, actually, it's the third because the Bash even had it.
You're correct. There you go.
Even the Bash wasn't a takeover. It was basically a takeover.
Basically a takeover. Good. We'll add to that, too. The Bash had its own set, too.
I feel like
they continue this. I think they should.
I feel like especially being locked in, because normally takeovers now are in the arena of the adjacent, pay-per-view. It's next to the day before of. So I guess since, they're stuck in Full Sail, it makes sense
to come up with different names.
It makes sense to spruce it up a little bit, to give the variety, to make it look like it's just not an episode of NXT on a Wednesday night.
For sure.
And they can't name it,
the city it's in.
Orlando, Takeover Orlando 2, Takeover Orlando 3. So
we got 30 of those.
Yeah, so we can't do that. If they're not going to Brooklyn or like all those, they have to name them. Which beside War Games, most of them
they've all been city names.
Majority.
Yeah, I know.
City.
Well, I mean, early on though.
Yeah.
Like our evolution and all that.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That era a little bit more. But since later on, they've all been just like Brooklyn 1, Phoenix, all those.
Yeah, besides the 25 and 30 and War Games, there really hasn't been another name for TakeOver.
I don't think they'll keep up the custom stages as soon as they go somewhere else because, well, it depends on if they keep calling takeovers like Takeover in your house and Takeover like Extreme Rules or something like that.
Yeah.
If they just go back to like Takeover Brooklyn 5, I mean, maybe they would put up a V, but...
I mean, I like the names better than the city just because it does spruce it up a little bit more and gives it a little more...
yeah.
It gives it
character.
way more... It gives it more of an identity.
Yeah, for sure.
But also, I don't want it to become how WWE's is, where I don't want TakeOver Hell in a Cell and TakeOver Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And like War Games is fine because that's the one.
But also,
like,
War
don't name all of them like after a match.
But also, War Games is so different from normal, themed pay-per-views, considering it's something we haven't seen, in our era ever before this, basically.
And it usually makes sense, War Games, too, because usually teams that aren't getting along at the point, or two foes that aren't getting along that have multiple people in them, and War Games.
And NXT actually has factions.
War Games was the much-needed update to Survivor Series that Survivor Series never got.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point.
Definitely.
Because the traditional Survivor Series elimination tag is just a waste at this point.
Yeah.
It's pointless. It's very pointless. It makes no sense.
The only time it's good, and I think it makes sense, is when there's a draft going on, and then the team who wins should get, like, the first overall pick. But then you need actual brand allegiance, and there's no brand allegiance with most.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Nobody, you used to associate people with SmackDown and people with Raw. You don't do that anymore.
Don't do that. No. Speaking of being in venues and stuff, will we see TakeOver go in the ThunderDome? Because usually TakeOvers are held in a bigger arena than Full Sail. Usually the night before the pay-per-view, whatever, it's in that arena. Will they eventually go into the ThunderDome? I think they will.
I think so too, but I think it was kind of good, bookending a little bit since it was the 30th TakeOver to have it in Full Sail.
In Full Sail, yeah.
Kind of going back to where it all started.
Where it started.
So,
and there was plenty of that throughout the night too.
That's exactly it. From a story perspective and an NXT history perspective, it was smart to put it in Full Sail. I think the next one though, if they're still in the ThunderDome by the time it would be, which would probably be Survivor Series, so they very well could be.
But they will be.
They'll be out of the ThunderDome then.
Good. Cool. That'd be fun to look forward to, all that stuff.
I don't think they're going to.
No?
I don't know why. There's just something telling me they're just going to stay.
It makes it feel more underground, more secretive when it's in Full Sail compared to all the flashing lights, camera action stuff, which I like.
That's the thing too, because they still have the hockey boards and the fake fans. At least then it makes it too drastically different, because that was the whole thing about NXT, was that it's supposed to be different. Than WWE.
Yeah. So I'm okay with either way as long as the action stays the same, which it most likely will. So I'm fine with whatever Hunter decides to do.
I'm fine if they want to stay at Full Sail for the regular weekly tapings.
Yeah.
But maybe at takeovers go to the ThunderDome. I think that'd be good.
They could always go to the Performance Center now.
That is true.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I don't know how you're
a bigger venue.
I just don't know how you're fitting the War Games cage inside Full Sail too.
That's going to the ThunderDome.
That would go. They should definitely get War Games in before they move out of the ThunderDome.
That would be awesome.
That would be insane.
They should do War Games before Survivor Series.
Do they have it scheduled? I'm gonna look.
It is, right?
Is it scheduled?
Usually
I feel like Regal just pulls out War Games.
But it's always in November. Usually, I think
it's usually Survivor Series weekend. I think so.
You guys can keep talking. I'll figure this one out.
Yeah, but no, I think War Games has to be in the ThunderDome.
War Games last year was November 23rd, and then Survivor Series last year was the very next day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do that again.
Do it again.
Do that again.
And have Alicia whatever her last name, Alicia Taylor, I think, who's the ring announcer, have her raspy voice again. Try hard and War Games. But that's It's just a little bit on the set. That doesn't really matter too much at this point. But Breezango won the number 1 contendership, shockingly.
Yeah, I watched that match.
It was good.
Okay.
It was good.
It was okay. It ended really abruptly, I think. Was the thing. There was like 2 people standing on the mats. Tyler Breeze was pinning, and nobody jumped in, and it was just the end of the match. And I was like, oh, there was 2 people who could have broken up that pin that were. I feel like they were like, oh, that's a weak super kick. That's not ending the match. Yeah,
I was just more shocked than anything that Legado del Fantasma didn't win this match.
They've been hot.
They've been really hot. They didn't get pinned, which is fine. That's just the best case scenario. Yeah. But I think, is it time to give Breezango the titles finally? I think it's finally time.
I'm all for it, but I don't think they will. I thought Breezango should have won the SmackDown tag team titles when they were doing the Case Files.
Yes, the fashion. Yes, they were hot.
That was the peak of their popularity.
Oh God, I loved them. They were so good.
That was that was literally the best segment every week of SmackDown.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
it was
for sure.
so good
For like 3 months,
and now it's like lost. Like nobody talks about it because they never paid it off. They had them lose their title match.
But they need to be in NXT because they just get lost on the main roster. At least they could somewhat be stable down here and just – it's a weak tag division to begin with. And having them somewhat helps, but they need more teams down in NXT. But Breezango won.
Every show really needs teams.
Tag teams? Yeah, for sure.
Well, also, if UK is coming back, which they promoted tonight, they're going to need to lose those belts.
Yeah, because they're probably going to head back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to have to lose those belts.
Breezango. Yep. There you go. And have Legado eventually beat them for it and have them have their nice little trio of titles with Santos Escobar. So that's all good and well. But let's get into the main card. And I'm just going to touch on these couple of guys who made guest appearances on the show first before we get into some in-ring action. Corey Graves is on commentary, which was fun to see. I don't know if it was because Mauro was missing or just because they wanted to bring back some old NXT heads to the show. But Corey Graves was there, and I love Corey Graves in NXT. All for it.
Yeah, I'm sure you can get into more of the names, because Drew was there and so forth. But it seems like going back to, like, having it in Full Sail is, like, this is kind of like the coming home of takeovers maybe. Yeah. It's kind of like the best of kind of like alumni type of show almost at the same time without it being like a best of alumni show.
Yeah.
Like it was just enough sprinkled in there here and there throughout that it was like, oh, these are nods to people who made their name in NXT before leaving.
Yeah. No, for sure. It was nice to see him. He's great on commentary. Can't complain about that. Vic Joseph was phenomenal on commentary.
Vic Joseph was really good.
Yeah, I like Mauro, but if he can replace Mauro as the play-by-play guy, I'm with it. Drew McIntyre, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Cesaro were the others who just were chilling in the crowd with their masks on, except for Drew. But they were guest appearances like they usually do at takeovers, put the camera on them. They say hi. It was fun. It made it feel like a takeover again. Whatever. It was all good and well at that point.
Yeah, Drew picked Keith Lee to win.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That didn't pan out. That one didn't pan out. But let's get on to the main card finally now. First match of the night. Finn Balor defeats Timothy Thatcher in a very, I'd say, like, European technical match. Very slow. Very...
I didn't like it. I did not like it.
It's not for everybody. For sure.
For me, by far, it was the worst match of the night.
I will second that, of course.
Yeah, I agree.
And it was kind of sad because it had Balor in it, but
that's just the style that Thatcher wrestles. He's not your big spots type of guy, moonsault, 450 splash, all that nonsense. He's like ground.
It was too much ground. Like if you have a guy like Balor, there should be some. Well, and something else that's interesting is they keep having Balor win with the DDT.
Yeah, he's not really – his coup de grace is like a signature now, not a finisher.
They keep missing it. Like, he doesn't hit it most of the time now. Like, I swear, every time he goes to the top rope, they roll out of the way.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that is. Maybe he doesn't want to do it anymore because it hurts his knees. I don't know.
I don't know. They're ending a lot of his matches with the DDT now.
But I feel like with a Thatcher match, you need more of a story around it.
Yeah.
Because you can't have him in almost an impromptu match with Balor and just do – because we know how Balor fights.
Well, that's the thing. And with Balor being, like for all intents and purposes, like the godfather of NXT to some degree, or like the big – like he's one of the – like the Mount Rushmore.
Fathers.
That's what I'm saying. He's on the Mount Rushmore of NXT,
For sure.
So people have seen what
you gave him a match with Thatcher.
Well, and the thing is, like, they're two completely different. In order for Thatcher to look good, Balor has to stay grounded. In order for Balor to get any offense, he needs to be flying around the ring, basically. It was just a bad pairing, I think.
Bad combo. I agree.
Is what kind of led to this match. And it was good that it was an opener just to get the dud out of the way.
Smart. Yeah. Get it done with.
But at the same time, like, it does just, like, frustrate me because
what are they doing?
Balor is one of the old school guys, and it was more important for you to put Velveteen Dream in the ladder match. Like, you can't put Balor in the ladder match?
Yeah, if they were switched, it would have been the same result, the first match not being that good, and it would have added even more to the ladder match, having Balor instead of Dream. Even though Dream took some crazy bumps in that match, but
good.
Okay. Speaking of that match, let's get right into that. It's the North American title match. We had Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, and Jesse's favorite, the Velveteen Dream, all in a 5-man ladder match for the vacant North American title, and Damian Priest won. The old man gets the victory, and I was very happy to see that. Great match all around. Lots of bumps. I thought it was fun. It doesn't compare to the one at Takeover New Orleans, but it was still a good ladder match.
I was thinking, like, a quarter of the way through the match, I was like, you know what would put this really over the top? Just a guy like Ricochet or Cedric Alexander, like just a high flyer, just to do high spots. Because that's the one thing this was missing.
Yeah, you had like guys who can move. Like you had Grimes, you had Gargano. They can move in the ring, but they can't move like a true high flyer. I agree with that.
Yeah. Even if they put Balor in, you'll see Balor jump off the top of a ladder. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Balor and Gargano are very similar, I would say, almost. But like I agree, a true high flyer, like I know Rey Mysterio's not coming out, but a Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, but like somebody
that can do insane stuff off the ladder, from ladder to ladder. Even though Priest did a running senton off the ladder, which was nuts. But
yeah, I think it would have been cool if they made it a 6-man and have like a anonymous person like come back and like kind of as a tribute. So then you could have like a Ricochet come back. Or since Cesaro was there, you could have had like Shinsuke come back or something like that for it.
That would have been cool.
I think that would have been really cool.
If they would have included more alumni, I think it would have been awesome too. Yeah. Just anyone. Like even if they included Owens in War Games last year, they could have included somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Somebody, yeah. But I thought it was good overall, the match. I have no complaints about it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good.
It delivered. It was an entertaining match. And, we've kind of – I'm not saying we've seen all what people can do in ladder matches, but, like, ladder matches are very – it's WWE's now go-to stipulation for a non-themed pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So it's watered down to what high spots you could see.
Mm-hmm.
But they still were creative, like when Candice, LeRae –
Just about to bring that up, yeah.
Got involved and took a bump off the top of the ladder, even though, she wasn't actually thrown off it. She was using
she was padded for sure.
Yeah, but
she had a lot of padding.
She was using extra weight, basically, to make the move more devastating. That's just something different, at least.
Yeah, it was fun. It was innovative. Like, it's hard to be innovative, and it was, like you said. Everyone performed. Cameron Grimes was, I thought, one of the standout guys in the match.
Yeah, I thought Grimes was going to win it because of how... He was good. He was really good.
That last couple of sequences at the end, it was like a toss-up. I thought, Bronson won. Then Gargano won. And then Grimes.
Soon as Gargano took it off.
I thought it was Gargano.
Well, as soon as Priest came up, I was like, yeah, Priest has got that. I was like, there's no way Gargano is overpowering
I thought the title was going to fall down and Grimes was going to be there.
You just catch
That
it
would have
like
been
Otis.
perfect.
It would have been perfect.
That would have been
exactly.
And that's where you can credit NXT too, because it's a ladder match. You can't have a false finish, like in a traditional match. And to have, basically everyone at one point have a chance to think like, oh, they're actually going to come down with the belt now and win the belt. That's also a testament to how they booked the match too, that they put 5 people who legitimately could win it and not were just filler.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was really, and I know Triple H had an interview post NXT, and he said Priest was his pick all along to win, but in the weeks leading up, he was really debating on putting it on either Grimes or Reed. So that says something about how up in the air this match was and how anybody could have won this match.
Have you guys seen Deadpool 2?
Yes.
I have.
The kid from Deadpool 2. You don't see it with Bronson Reed?
I see it.
Okay, thank you. I put that in the group chat and nobody responded to it. And I was like, that was such a good call.
Did you guys see my TikTok I put in the group chat?
No.
That got overlooked too. It was perfect, but I'll show you guys that later.
Oh my God!
TikTok you have to click on. Mine you just had to read.
Yes, Jesse, he does. I do see a resemblance.
Right? Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, no,
I want my recognition.
That's 2 nights in a row you didn't get recognition for something in the group chat.
Exactly.
Like the other night too.
Yeah, I'm good in group chats.
I'm good in group chat. That like a Tinder bio or something.
That's on my resume.
That's
on my resume.
Thinning the herd out of the group chats too.
We'll add a lot to work group chats.
Oh my God.
With gifts.
You'll manage your crowd controlling the group chats also at some point.
Yeah. You guys can't say I'm not great with my gifts too.
Oh, they're great.
So good.
We're in a couple group chats together, Jesse, between wrestling fans, this podcast, and everybody. And you're a star. You're a star.
Fantasy football also.
Yeah.
Fantasy football also. That's right. Oh wow. Wow. That was the ladder match. Very good. It was my match of the night until we had our next match right here. Colts legend, the punter of the decade, Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole, baby. Oh, I'm for our video watchers right now. I'm wearing my Pat McAfee jersey.
Me for your podcast listeners.
You can be a video listener.
The video can see.
No, but you could also be a video listener because you can just turn it on and not even pay attention to it.
Yes, but also they can
whoever's watching this podcast right
Whoever pads our stats
whoever's listening to the podcast.
Same thing, all right?
Consuming it with one of the 5 senses.
Smell. You can't smell me, thank God. But I'm wearing my Pat McAfee jersey. I was rooting for my boy. But it was a crazy match. Pat McAfee exceeded all expectations. People were crapping on this match before it even started. Once they saw Pat move in the ring, doing the best senton I've ever seen in my life, jumping up to the top rope, doing moonsaults everywhere, they came to my side and saw how good of an athlete Pat McAfee was.
It's hard to believe that Pat was just a punter. You think about punters and you think of like the unathletic. People call them, they're not really football players. They're the punter.
Yeah.
And Pat's a legitimate athlete.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. He's a full athlete. We saw, as Colts fans, Justin, what he can do on the field, laying people out.
When he smacked Trindon Holiday in that one Monday Night Football game or Sunday Night Football game.
Trindon Holiday is 5'5".
And Pat McAfee's a punter. Okay?
Well, he's also a pretty good wrestler. So
he's better than a lot of
wrestlers.
Like
a lot of wrestlers that are wrestling right now.
And Pat didn't just do like one spot off the top rope. He was consistently going up there. Like I understand he landed on like 8 people as like padding to break his fall from the top rope to the ring floor.
Yeah.
Ricochet does that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Pat can sell too.
Yeah.
He sell really well. Like his emotions, his body language, his just overall ability to sell. It shows
that he truly cared going into the match and wanted to justify him being there.
Yeah.
Because he probably saw the Gronk experiment and how Gronk didn't really care, and he was there just for the sake of being there because he was bored and to be a meme and money.
Paycheck. You're right.
When you get someone who's motivated and cares, they'll deliver because they're trying their best.
Yeah.
And he did well above his best in this match.
Yeah. And beyond anything, he's a fan of the business, too. Not just someone who's an athlete. Because there's plenty of athletic people that have tried to step into the ring before and have not succeeded. But Pat's also a fan, so he understands what's going on, the chemistry you have to have with an opponent, the moves you have to do to tell a story. It was just very, very good all around. Oh, I didn't say Cole won, by the way. Cole won that match, but all around just very, 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 very good.
And the fact that they named his punt finisher.
Yes, the touchback.
Touchback.
That's one of the greatest finisher names ever.
I think since they actually named it.
That was another one of the messages I put in the group chat.
Yes, yeah, I think I reacted to that message.
I think since they actually named it, he'll be back and he'll stick around.
Fine.
Like, I think he'll do at least like one more match.
I want War Games with Pat and company versus
no chance they'll put everybody in there.
I only want it if he gets Andrew Luck on his team.
Come on, Darius Butler can't be worse at professional wrestling than he was at playing free safety.
Bro, just have AJ Hawk and Pat win the tag titles, honestly.
Oh my God, they're not all just joining the WWE.
Just all former Colts. Imagine just joining. Like you have this like Robert Mathis as their manager or something, or like some. I don't know.
Stable.
And
they're not a big enough brand.
And I'm happy though too that either sides for the era or Pat's boys, I guess I don't know what to call
Pat's
them.
Boys.
Pat's
Posse.
Yeah.
Pat's Posse. PP. Stop, Alexa. I didn't say Alexa.
They didn't get involved too much. It was just enough, and they let them just focus on Cole and Pat.
Yeah, no. I know Jim Irsay put out a tweet, too, saying congrats to Pat.
Dude,
so
everyone was tweeting about Schefter, Yates, even Jeff Passan was tweeting about it. Passan covers baseball.
I think it's also because of how good he was.
Yeah,
he was like, he did a backflip off the top turnbuckle and landed it.
And then he jumped from the ring to the top rope.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, my God, that was
And I love
sweet.
that they, had his kryptonite being that he punted the steel steps.
Because he has the strongest leg in the history of legs.
It's genius.
The strongest leg destroyed the strongest foot.
I will admit, when this whole controversy first started on the Pat McAfee show, I did not want this match. I was one of the ones saying, no, I don't want Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole.
Like, it's an insult to Adam Cole. It's a joke.
Yes. I will
want this
admit
to be the only match ever.
You're good with it being a one and done?
Yeah.
No, I want every match to just be this match.
Just to be that match.
So here's my
This is my third favorite match of the entire year. Firefly Funhouse, the greatest wrestling match of all time.
And Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee, Adam Cole.
Which one is it out of the three?
It's three.
It's three? Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. One, we better get Pat as a playable character in 2K22.
He'll be DLC.
Good,
he definitely will be. And is this the best celebrity match in the WWE?
For sure.
Yup.
Before this, it was Floyd Mayweather, I think.
This is beyond Floyd.
And this took Floyd's Mayweather matches and made it look like Balor and Thatcher.
Well, because Floyd, even in his boxing career, because even with Floyd in his real boxing career, he still didn't want to take a hit in wrestling. Yeah. So, Pat just went all in.
Pat, we've seen celebrity matches before. We've seen Snooki in the ring before. We've seen some
Snooki
nonsense.
Was not as bad as some other people.
There's been a lot of bad. We saw Jeremy Piven and Ken Jong.
Piven and Ken Jong calling it Summerfest.
So, that's bad.
Also, we had
John Cena had to correct them.
Also, we had Michael Che and
yes.
Oh my God! Yeah, that was
WrestleMania last year.
Storyline. Oh my God!
Forgot about that. Wow. Yeah.
No wonder we all hate Braun.
He feuded with SNL Weekend Update anchors.
That was his WrestleMania storyline.
Oh my God.
We liked him at that point.
Only because they were only because they were across the river from 30 Rock.
Literally, that's the only reason why that was there.
Another year that people were behind Braun, he won the tag titles with a 10-year-old. He just buried the tag division.
Yeah, and he's gonna lose. And he's gonna lose tomorrow too, or tonight if you're listening to this right now. But he's gonna lose tomorrow too, which is needed.
One can only hope.
We can only hope. We can only hope. But final
That's a
thoughts
Hall of Famer.
Any final thoughts on Cole? On Cole McAfee.
Pat carried him.
Wow. Wow. Pat
I said this in the group chat. Pat's punt is better than Orton's punt.
It's not.
I know Jesse disliked that message in our group chat.
Yeah, no, let's not go crazy. Orton still has definitively the best punt.
I just think Pat's punt feels more real because he's a punter.
Yeah, but he's also kicking you in the chest. Orton's punting you in the head.
In the head,
yeah,
that's a difference.
To go aim for the head? Yeah, I don't.
No. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't trust him either. But that's why Orton's is better. Yeah, because he can connect with the head and not concuss you.
I get that.
It's just 100%. So funny how he lines up, but it's not even like he's going for a field goal. It's like the old-fashioned just line up, just straight kick.
It's just a straight kick.
My God.
Thank God he's not affiliated with Barstool. This probably never would have happened.
Oh, no. Probably wouldn't have, which is
good.
Yeah, no, Barstool probably hates WWE.
That's fine. They can hate him. Whatever. That's fine. Well, that does it for this little bit. We'll be back in a couple minutes to break down the women's title match and the world title match. So stay tuned. We're back, but we're missing someone. We're back. Justin had to go.
Due to some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I know for you guys listening to this and watching this right now, it seemed like a nice little 15-second break. We've been waiting here for like 20 minutes to a half hour because Justin's internet keeps coming in and out, but we're sorry he couldn't be in here, but with his permission. It was his idea. It wasn't our idea. It was his idea for us to finish out these last two matches of this show and just get this done with. But before we get into that, this is getting posted today, August 23rd. It is the late, great Kobe Bryant's birthday today. So happy birthday to him in heaven. Still prayers to his family, prayers to everyone who was affected by his death, everybody who was affected in a helicopter crash. So I just wanted to get that out there. So R.I.P. Happy birthday, Kobe. Yeah.
That makes me sad.
It makes me sad too. I know. It's that time of the night where, you know, all your emotions are out there.
All your emotions are just out.
You know, man. After this, I'll probably just go like cry on my pillow, you know. But
usual Saturday night.
Right. All right, just continuing these last two matches, not too quickly. We'll dive into them a little bit, then we'll end. But we had the NXT Women's Championship match. We had Io Shirai retain her title against Dakota Kai in another very good match.
This was a banger.
It was a banger, right?
It was good.
I was never really sold too much on heel Dakota Kai, but I really liked that.
Yeah, no, she's good. Yeah. Io Shirai obviously is very good. I think she is the best women's wrestler in the world right now.
For sure, without a doubt. Dakota really impressed me, though, a lot during this match.
Yeah, Dakota's good. Dakota is really good and works as a heel.
And having Raquel Gonzalez back with Dakota adds so much to it. Just the whole presentation of it. You get the Shawn and Diesel vibes from it. It's really, really, really fun to see. And very good match. Like you said, Io Shirai, best women's wrestler in the world. I would not disagree with that statement at all. Very, very good. Io retains. Dakota looked really good in the match. The referee in that match ate a kick from...
Oh, my God,
God. Oh, who's it from, Dakota?
Yeah, from Dakota. She did her running knee strike. Because she threw Io into the, turnbuckle. But Io, never went to the turnbuckle. But no. Dakota had already turned around and started running. The ref was there the whole time. I don't know how she actually kicked him.
God. It was insane, but
you would see him. She was running at him.
Yeah.
And kneed him in the face.
And usually ref bumps are a little shove here and they're out for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
this was a full-on kick.
Kick to the face.
Yeah, it was a nice touch. Raquel got involved. We thought Dakota was going to win there. False finish. Io does the genius of the sky flippy-do stuff. Wins the match, and then we had a nice little stare down between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez, two big, beefy, mighty, strong women. I love seeing that. Oof, that got me a little happy inside. But if they do a tag team match in NXT,
I think tag team is where they're going next.
Raquel versus Rhea, I'm all for this.
I think they might go tag team, and then I think the feud is Rhea Io.
Maybe a triple threat down the line too. You never know.
Maybe that could also be it.
Yeah, but hey, Rhea looks really good. I'm sold on the Rhea blonde hair now because the dark makeup really works. With the blonde hair, it like counterbalances it. I don't know the right word for that, but she looked really good. Raquel looked great. Dakota looked great. Io looked great. Great match all around. Very happy.
If it wasn't for Cole and McAfee's match, this would have been my favorite of the night.
Really? This over the ladder match?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, I
thought this was a really good match. Thought this was a banger.
Okay, I might agree with that too. They're kind of even with me, the ladder match in this one, but definitely.
I really just think that ladder match, like, it was good, but it really needed just like one more thing to put it over that level. 5
people is a really odd.
It's a really weird number. Like, if Keith Lee said, "I want as many opportunists," like 6 or 8. I would think would be the number.
Yeah, no, for sure.
5 is weird.
5 is weird. Yeah, I'd say 6, at least 6.
Yeah.
At least. But that's here nor there. Let's get to the main event. Before the in-ring action, there was a beautiful video package that was shown to hype up this match. It felt like one of like the old just video packages from back in the day.
Yeah.
It really did.
It was like an old school, like 2003, like Backlash.
Yeah. Like, I was thinking Backlash too for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Like Armageddon.
Like that type of show. It was just edited really, really well done. And just got you hyped for the match. And that's what it's there to do. They filmed his little vignettes before, like with all the fire and stuff. So they were showing that stuff. And it just, I think they added more fire to the contract. It looks like
they did. They did.
Because when it was live on NXT, not live, but when they showed it on NXT,
it didn't
do much. It was like a little poof.
It was like a little poof. Yeah,
a little poof. It made it look really good when the edited version. It was like, oh wow, he got fired.
Yeah, it was like, oh, he got fireballed.
Exactly. But great video package, great entrance again by Karrion Kross. The fire just adds so much to it in the background. A lot of fire.
The darkness and the focus on Scarlett, and then how it, it's so good.
And then we have Big Keith Lee, and shockingly, very shockingly, Karrion Kross is your new NXT champion.
Allegedly, for right now.
Yes, because it was reported in that post-NXT interview with Triple H that Karrion Kross has sustained some sort of shoulder injury. We don't know the extent of it yet, but hopefully it's nothing serious because then that just ruins his momentum, honestly.
We've seen what happened with Finn when he separated his shoulder.
Yeah. And
he was the original Universal Champion.
Even if Kross has to give it up, you can't just give it back to Keith Lee. It's just, I don't know.
The only way you do that is, like, if Kross is out like a while, and you give it back to Lee like regains his confidence while having the belt, and then Kross comes back and is like, "You're not the real champion. You still never beat me."
It would work, but I just prefer to not have that happen.
Yeah, no, I think Lee should go to the. Lee should go to the main roster, but the main roster right now really needs heels. It does not need faces.
I think you have
the problem.
If you can run Karrion and Keith one more time, do it. Have Undisputed go up. Undisputed, they've won it all, done it all in NXT.
Yeah, no, Undisputed should definitely go up, especially, again, I really just think Undisputed should go up when Drew loses the belt, and it should be intertwined.
Also, you don't think he's going to lose the belt tomorrow? Or tonight?
I think, that's the thing. I think he will lose the belt.
Okay.
I don't think Undisputed's going to get involved. I think that should be the scenario, though.
Yes. Okay.
Because there's already the history there.
Yeah.
Like, if it's there, you might as well use it.
It's literally right in front of you. All Vince has to do is take it and put it in. That's it. It's right in front of you.
And everybody would love it. Everybody would think it's great.
Yeah, exactly. No. But it was an okay match. It wasn't. It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
It was two heavyweights.
Yeah, exactly. Two big guys.
So I think the heavyweight, kind of two of them working together kind of caps a match can only be like so good. But they still did a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, no, overall, great match. Oh, another overall great show altogether, TakeOver. I'd say it sniffs the top 5 takeovers this show. It sniffs it.
Yeah, it might still be a little bit back on mine.
Well, it's hard because of course, the no fans. We've known this since March now. It's hard.
Yeah.
But for what they had, they put on a hell of a show.
First match, though,
that kills it.
You can completely throw that out.
Of course.
Entirely.
Yes.
And there are other takeovers where you literally cannot throw a match out.
True. You're right.
So, and as good as the ladder match is, like, I would probably never watch that again. Like, I would never seek that ladder match out to watch that again. But especially if there were other... especially the North American one.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a better North American ladder match, obviously.
Yeah,
that already
exactly.
Happened.
So
Cole McAfee, we love.
Cole McAfee was fantastic.
Dakota Io, we love.
Yes.
And carrying the Keith Lee was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was great. It was fine.
I thought it did what it needed to do.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. It had like 2 to 3. I'll say this: 2 banger matches. Two absolutely top matches.
Yes.
And then the title match was pretty good. I would say probably. See, that's my problem with it is it's probably the weakest championship match we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Just because of Cole's work. With that belt.
We're used to top quality matches.
Just Cole Gargano.
No.
But again, they were 2 heavyweights probably put together too quickly, especially since Keith Lee, this was his first defense for the most part.
Yeah, well, I saw a lot of people complaining that Keith Lee lost his first defense. This isn't the first time they've done this. Gargano lost his first defense.
So
Sami Zayn lost his first defense. A bunch of others lost their first defense. Not even in NXT, just people in general. Just it's Dante said this in our group chat too. Cross is the hot guy right now. You gotta put your title on.
Oh, absolutely. Well, my thing was, I thought you could have just waited another takeover cycle before you did this match.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been in the title match.
He could have went at
Balor.
Anybody.
There you go.
Balor, he could have went at. I mean, if you were bringing Velveteen back and you wanted, if Velveteen was getting destroyed in the ladder match, have him just destroy Velveteen.
Yeah.
I just think there were other matches you could have done at least for one takeover cycle. Like, give Lee one win with the belt.
True. Maybe Vince just wanted Lee too. We don't know that. Vince could have really wanted Lee because we know Vince likes Lee. We saw his performance at Survivor Series last year.
And the Rumble.
And the Rumble, correct. And the Rumble. So we know Vince is a fan of the guy. He loves his big, sweaty guys. We know that. So maybe Vince wanted him up too. Who knows?
That could be it. If they don't pull Lee up and they don't pull the Undisputed Era up,
what are they doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
There's nothing left.
No, and NXT's really good at rebranding their roster, so I'm not worried about that either. Even though Cole and Undisputed is a huge hit to their roster, but they're good at rebranding, so I'm not worried about that. But they need to get called up, plain and simple.
Yeah, there's nothing left for what are they going to do? Make one more run for all the titles?
Not worth
they already did it. They already had all the belts.
It's not worth it.
There's nothing left for them to do.
No.
I could maybe see them doing Cross and Lee again.
Maybe. I get that. Maybe a rematch. I do get that. But Undisputed, there's no exception, honestly.
Undisputed, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, I think you have to. Well, and if Drew and Randy does happen and Randy does win.
Yeah.
I think keeping Drew occupied with Undisputed until a bigger pay-per-view would be good because you can hold off until Royal Rumble to do Drew Orton again.
Yeah, for sure.
You should at least give Orton some room with the belt to work some other people too, especially ones that'll make him look really good.
Cool. I'm with it. All right, that was NXT. tonight's SummerSlam. We're posting this on Sunday. Tonight's SummerSlam. I just want to touch this very quickly before we end. The catchphrase for the show is "You'll never see it coming." What's one thing we're not going to see coming, Jesse? Do you have anything on the mind or no? I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, Rey Mysterio is going to interfere in the Dominic Mysterio-Seth Rollins match.
And help.
That's it.
Help Seth?
No.
That's
it. Yep.
That's the thing we're not going to see.
Because they think that's something big. It's going to be Alexa Bliss doing something.
That's probably what the catchphrase is made to be around. But my prediction, I'm going to say off the top of my head right now, is we will find out the leader of Retribution. Yeah.
That's a good call. By the way, Retribution, nothing on NXT tonight.
Nothing. It has to be 205 or NXT guys because they've never made their face shown or been on any NXT or 205 live shows yet.
I still don't think they.
Unless it's the UK invasion.
I don't think it is.
There's a lot of guys too.
I still don't know if they know.
I don't think so because there was like 20 guys on SmackDown.
Also, can we please stop calling them the group that calls themselves Retribution? Please. They're just Retribution.
They're just Retribution.
They're the group that calls themselves.
Like, we know it's part of the story. Like, come on, we're not that dumb.
Mike Cole always does that with Naomi's rear view. The move she calls the rear view. Just call it the rear view.
The rear view. What a great name for a finisher, though, if we're being honest. That's a great name to butt right in someone's face. But on that note, that does it for this episode of the Department Podcast, our NXT Takeover 30 Wrestle Recap version. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. Leave a comment. Let us know your favorite part of this podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, @Department_pod. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next episode.